We're now approaching 3 years since the Russia-Ukraine war began, and unfortunately, peace still feels out of reach. Recently, the conflict took another troubling turn, capturing the world's attention. The United States made a controversial policy shift, allowing Ukraine to use donated long-range ballistic missiles to strike targets inside Russia. Interestingly, this wasn't the first time a Western nation had enabled Ukraine to use advanced weaponry. Months earlier, in July 2024, the United Kingdom had set a precedent. Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced that Ukraine could deploy British-made missiles, such as the Storm Shadow cruise missile, for defensive operations against targets inside Russia. By November, these weapons were in action. On November 19th, Ukrainian forces launched several US-made ATACMS missiles at an ammunition depot in Russia's Bryansk region. While the strike was significant, Russia claimed that its advanced air defense systems intercepted most of the missiles. The following day, on November 20th, Ukraine escalated its efforts by firing British-made Storm Shadow missiles at the Kursk region in Russia. These actions have sparked global concern and raised an urgent question: how would Russia respond? It seems we're now starting to see the answer unfold. Russia wasted little time responding to the new threat it received. In reaction to these strikes, and to the broader Western policy of providing Ukraine with advanced weapons, it raised the stakes dramatically. On November 21st, Ukraine's Air Force claimed that Russia had launched an intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM, targeting the outskirts and critical infrastructure of the city of Dnipro. According to the Ukrainian military, this attack was not isolated. It was reportedly accompanied by a Kinzhal aeroballistic missile fired from a MiG-31K fighter jet and 7 Kh-101 cruise missiles launched from Tu-95MS bombers. If confirmed, this strike would be a historic first in this conflict of the use of an ICBM in direct military engagement, marking a significant escalation in Russia's missile strategy. However, Russian President Vladimir Putin denied the use of an ICBM in the strike on Dnipro. Speaking on Russian state television, he clarified that the attack involved a new non-nuclear ballistic missile with medium-range capabilities. According to Putin, the strike was conducted in retaliation for Ukraine's deployment of long-range American and British weapons. Putin revealed that the new hypersonic ballistic missile used was the Oreshnik. This missile, designed for precision and extreme speed, represents a significant step forward in Russia's arsenal development, and the strike was the test of it. The Russian president didn't stop there. He issued a stern warning, stating that Russia now considers it within its rights to target military assets in countries supplying weapons for use against Russian forces. Adding to the tension, Putin announced an update to Russia's nuclear doctrine. The revised policy places greater emphasis on nuclear deterrence, suggesting that any conventional attack on Russia, backed by a nuclear power, could be interpreted as a combined act of aggression. This escalation underscores the risks involved in the deployment of long-range Western weapons like ATACMS, as it appears to have pushed the conflict into an even more dangerous phase. Russia's Oreshnik missile, also known as the 9M729, has quickly become a key component of the country's missile program. This medium-range weapon is highly versatile, capable of carrying either conventional or nuclear warheads. With a reported range of 500 to 2,500 kilometers, it's designed to strike both tactical and strategic targets deep within enemy territory. In comparison, Ukraine's use of ATACMS missiles has had much less impact. While the ATACMS strikes demonstrated Ukraine's growing offensive reach, Russia's air defense systems successfully intercepted most of the missiles. But when it came to Russia's hypersonic Oreshnik, Ukraine was unable to mount any defense. Reports indicate that the missile reached speeds of Mach 10, far beyond the capabilities of Ukraine's air defense systems, which include the US-supplied Patriot and Germany's Iris-T systems. These defenses are excellent for countering many types of aerial threats, but they aren't designed to handle hypersonic weapons. Even President Putin highlighted this advantage, boasting that no country in the world currently has the capability to intercept the Oreshnik. This claim underscores the immense challenge Ukraine faces in countering this new weapon. The stark difference between Ukraine's earlier ATACMS strike and Russia's recent use of the Oreshnik highlights the rapidly widening gap in capabilities. On November 19th, Ukraine launched 6 ATACMS missiles at a military facility in the Bryansk region. Russia's Ministry of Defense reported that 5 of the missiles were intercepted, with only minor damage caused by the remaining one. Russian air defense systems that were in action, including the S-400 and Pantsir platforms. These systems, considered among the most advanced in the world, can handle a wide range of aerial threats, from drones to ballistic missiles. Russia's ability to defend itself so effectively against these attacks underscores the sophistication of its air defenses. Meanwhile, Ukraine had no way to counter the Oreshnik. Kyiv's security service managed to recover fragments of the missile, displaying its charred remains to reporters. The evidence points to how far Russia has advanced its missile technology, leaving Ukraine struggling to keep pace. President Putin has already stated that Russia plans to continue testing and mass-producing the Oreshnik missile. Rather than deterring Russia, the deployment of Western long-range weapons appears to have turned Ukraine into a testing ground for Moscow's most advanced weaponry. As the conflict escalates, both sides are locked in a dangerous cycle of action and retaliation. With each step, the stakes rise higher, and the potential for the conflict to spill far beyond Ukraine's borders grows ever more real. The question remains, how much further can this go before the consequences become truly global? That's all for today. Thank you for watching.